New God of War is reportedly not heading to Egypt after all, but it is set in Greece with a young Kratos. Michael Harradence over at PSU. Fresh on the back of rumors that the next God of War game will take place in Egypt, Tom Henderson of Insider Gaming has now reported that the game won't actually take place in that location, but instead be set in Greece and will star a younger Kratos. I don't know about that, man. We did that God of War rumor last week of being set in Egypt, and then got a message a couple hours before the podcast went live. From what I've been told, it isn't in Egypt. It's actually set in Greece, and it is going to be a younger Kratos this time. Apparently, the storyline has more to do with his relationship with his father and all that kind of stuff. Meanwhile, Henderson said that he's heard rumblings of a remaster of the original God of War trilogy, believing this might form part of the series, moving back to the origins in Greece. Finally, podcast co-host Grant Taylor Hill spoke about the rumor next state of play and a particular game that he's excited to see there. I've been told middle of next week. It's a game I'm very excited about. I've not spoken about it anywhere, but there's a brand new title from a new studio is going to debut at State of Play, which I'm very eager to see. Developer Sony Santa Monica hasn't announced anything about a new God of War game, although we all know it's coming. Yeah. Michael, going back in time though, dude, do we really need a reboot? The way they ended off Ragnarok set up so many other paths. This is not the one I was expecting.
Yeah, I don't know. When we talked about the Egypt rumor, you and I were wondering, are we going to get Kratos? Are we going to follow a different storyline based off how Ragnarok ended? So yeah, it is kind of weird. I mean, we also said though, like, can you have God of War without Kratos? And maybe that was the answer, right? I mean, it could be they play tested it internally and people are just like, it's not the same without Kratos. Like, we need Kratos to have God of War. I mean, we're going to see here when Witcher 4 comes out, right? Can you have The Witcher without Geralt? God of War, it looks like maybe they tested it very quickly and said, nope, it can't be God of War without Kratos. Let's go back in time. Now we've dealt with his relationship with his son. Let's do him as almost the son with his father. So I'm curious what they're going to do. But yeah, this to me really tells me true that they have said, Santa Monica has basically said, we can't do God of War without Kratos. Sorry, it's just not going to happen. Is that the right call? I think, as you said, Ragnarok, there were so many different possibilities, but at the end of the day, it's always been Kratos, right? You don't want to risk ruining your franchise, especially if you've got maybe a few more games in the pipeline. Like, man, they keep putting Kratos out, people are going to keep buying, Drew. I understand it. I'm a little bummed, but I get why they're doing it.
I'm definitely bummed. I wanted to see us branch out. I really did. I don't want to go back in time. I am excited to see what Sony Santa Monica are making, right? Because, you know, they're at the top of their game. Like, they're just one of the top tier studios in my eyes. So who plays Kratos then? Because I was talking to Scott about this last night as well. And he's like, Christopher Judge? I can't see him going to play a younger Kratos, right? He's more of that fatherly figure that we've seen with him bouncing off Atreus. So now he's going to go back in time. Oh, man, really? Like, Michael, this is not where I wanted the series to go, because I think we were ready to kind of grow.
Yeah.
Outside the box a little bit, right? When you talk about The Witcher 4, I think there's a huge setup for Siri to come in and take over on the franchise. I think that's a smart move, moving the franchise forward, right? When you think about The Last of Us as an example as well, everybody's so heavily focused on Joel on the first game, and then part 2 comes around and it's all Ellie. And you're like, yo, this works. And then, dude, everybody fell in love. So they're able to pass the torch. I thought they set it up where there's opportunities that they could have passed the torch off. We could have had Kratos pass the torch to Atreus, and Atreus could really be, you see him grow into be like his 20s, right? Mid 20s, because he's not mid 20-ish when he's in Ragnarok, right? So he's much younger. So I don't know, Michael, where's your hype level now then at this? If we're not going to pass the torch anymore, we're going to go back to a younger Kratos.
Oh man, I think I'll still give it an 8 because it's God of War, right? I think God of War always just does a fantastic game. I'm with you. I think if we were in Egypt and it was like, is it Kratos? Is it Atreus? I was going to be at that 9.5. So I'll be at an 8 just because I know God of War makes good games, Drew. But what about you? Quickly, what's your hype level?
I'm probably around a 7.5 now, dude. I'm on a little bit tempered down now because I was really hoping to pass that torch to see what else we can get into in the world of God of War.